Hello and welcome everyone, Heart here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a behind the scenes look at how I create my YouTube videos. Massive thanks to Aorus for sponsoring this video by providing me with some awesome PC components that have allowed me to build a tiny ITX PC system that I now use exclusively for editing and rendering all my videos as part of my content creation process. Hopefully this video will provide an interesting insight into how I create videos here on my channel, what sort of hardware and software I use, and how it all comes together in my video making process. I should of course mention that this is just my process. This is by no means the process that you should follow if you want to make YouTube videos, although hopefully it's a reasonable guide to help you get started or just improve upon your own process. I think a general rule of thumb with all things YouTube content creation related, and probably content creation in general, is to do whatever works best for you. So if you already create content, let me know how you do it down in the comment section. So how do I do it? Well, let's start off by taking a look at the hardware I use. I have two PCs as part of my content creation process. The first is my War Machine PC build, which currently features an i9-7900X CPU, 64GB of RAM, RTX 2080 Ti, and various storage drives including M.2, SSD, and hard drives for all my game installs and recordings. While the War Machine PC is my main gaming system that I use to play games and to record my videos on, it's my editing and rendering PC that really does all the hard work every single day. This PC is an ITX system, meaning that it's a small form factor PC. I decided that for my editing and rendering system, I wanted to use the ITX form factor as I didn't want another massive PC like the War Machine. I just don't have the space for it. I wanted something powerful yet compact, able to handle full editing and rendering workloads without a problem, some gaming from time to time too, and to be as portable as possible. Yes, I could have got a laptop, but I wanted full fat desktop components and performance. So again, massive thanks to Aorus for making this editing and rendering system possible by providing a lot of the hardware for this system. So without further ado, here it is, the Ghost. The Ghost PC, named after the Loki Ghost S1 ITX case that the whole system is housed in, it features a Ryzen 3700X CPU, cooled by a Noctua NH-L9A air cooler, a Gigabyte RTX 2060 Windforced overclock 6GB GPU, 16GB of Aorus RGB DDR4 3200MHz RAM, all installed on the Aorus X570i Pro Wi-Fi motherboard, and it's powered by the Corsair SF600 PSU. And finally, the storage. Oh boy, did Aorus deliver. They sent over their new 2TB Aorus NVMe Gen 4 M.2 SSD. Yep, that's right, 2TB of storage on a stick. A very fancy full copper body heat spreader stick. While the rest of the hardware Aorus sent over is great, it's this NVMe Gen 4 M.2 SSD that's the crowning glory of the Ghost PC. It's lightning fast with sequential read speeds of up to 5,000 megabytes a second, and sequential write speeds of up to 4,400 megabytes a second. If none of that means anything to you, how does booting up your PC and being completely ready to use in under 30 seconds sound? That's without Windows Fast Boot. Or what about being able to copy the whole of Total War Warhammer 2's game files over 50GB in under 60 seconds sound? Gaming wise, I'm able to load in pretty much as fast as the game's engines allow, but that's not what this drive is for. If you're constantly handling large files like I do for editing and rendering my recordings, this drive certainly helps cut down any excess waiting time and has lightning fast transfer speeds. A combination of all of the hardware Aorus provided for this Ghost PC build, plus my own rendering preset in Adobe Premiere Pro, which is what I use to edit and render all my videos with, means that I can render out a video faster than the video's total runtime. For example, a 30-minute 1440p 60fps video recorded on my main PC comes in at around 10GB. Once it's ready to render in Adobe Premiere Pro, its total render time is on average around 24 minutes. So some of you might be wondering, why two PCs, Lionheart? Surely you can do all of this on your War Machine gaming system. Well yes, my War Machine PC is certainly capable of not only recording my videos but editing and rendering them too. Having a secondary PC to handle editing and rendering means that I can be recording the next video on my War Machine system while the Ghost PC renders the previous recording. It also means that if I want to live stream after finishing some recordings, I don't need to worry about waiting until I've edited and rendered my videos first. I simply transfer all my recordings via my network to my Ghost PC, set them up to render, leaving my War Machine system free to game and stream while the Ghost gets busy in Adobe Premiere Pro. There's certainly nothing wrong with a single PC setup though. I started off with a single PC setup, and loads of creators still stick to just one PC too. Again, this is about optimizing my process for the type of content that I produce, which is primarily long format Let's Plays, uploading 2 to 3 videos a day, Monday to Saturday, plus a few live streams. A second PC just made sense after a while to further optimize my content production. Speaking of optimizing my production, monitors. I'm a big fan of multi-monitor setups. Currently, I'm using two 27-inch 2560 by 1440 curved G-Sync monitors on my War Machine system to game on and record on. I game on the first screen and I keep my recording software on my secondary screen so that I can monitor the recording as I'm creating it. For my Ghost PC, I've paired it up with a 34-inch 3440 by 1440p ultra-wide monitor, which helps massively when editing videos due to all the extra screen space, and it's super immersive for gaming on too. Finally, before we dive into the software that I use to record, edit and render my videos on across the two PCs, let's quickly cover audio and other peripherals that I use to help me create my videos with. As I've been creating content for over 10 years now, I'm not exactly using the most affordable gear, especially not for someone just starting out. There's plenty of cheaper ways to get started, especially with audio gear, but again, hopefully this gives you an idea of what my current setup is like, what I've built up to over 10 years. So what microphone or headset am I using to capture my commentary for all of my videos? Well, I'm actually using it right now to do this voiceover with as well. It's the Beyerdynamic DT297 headset, which features a cardioid condenser microphone. I've been using this headset for over 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. I got fed up of having microphones on boom arms in front of my face all the time, which are pretty popular among most creators. So after some recommendations from other YouTubers, I tried out this studio broadcast quality headset, and I've never looked back. Before this, I used a variety of microphones over the years. The industry legend, the Blue Yeti, kept me going for many of my earlier years here on YouTube. Then I transitioned to an Audio-Technica AT2020, and then finally to this Beyerdynamic headset. As this headset is using an XLR connection, it does require an audio interface to power it and to connect it up to my PC. I'm currently using the Go XLR, which has a load of useful features, such as fader control for numerous audio channels. It's got a built-in noise gate controller, it's got an equalizer, compressor, and de-esser options, which are all supported by some pretty solid software as well. If you don't need all the doodads and features that the Go XLR offers, I can highly recommend the Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 2 as a more entry-level audio interface if you're using an XLR microphone. So on to keyboards and mice. As I have two PCs in my content creation process, I have a keyboard and mouse for each PC. I could use software to just share my mouse and keyboard across both systems, but I honestly prefer having a dedicated set of inputs for each PC. So on my War Machine gaming PC, I'm currently using the SteelSeries Rival 710 mouse and the Drivo Blademaster TE keyboard with MX silent switches. While I love mechanical keyboards, there's nothing worse than the clickety-clack of some of the louder mechanical switch types, so where possible I try to use MX silent switches to minimize the noise from my keyboard while recording. For my editing and rendering Ghost PC, I use the SteelSeries Apex M750 TKL keyboard and a Rival 100 mouse. I use a slightly different combination of audio inputs for streaming, but I think my streaming setup is probably a whole other video. If you'd be interested in seeing how I go about streaming, then let me know down in the comment section. At last, it's time to talk about the software. Even with all this powerful hardware at my disposal, it's nothing without good software to utilize it all. So how do I record my videos? Well, I use a piece of software called OBS Studio. It's an incredibly powerful open source software that allows me to not only record my gameplays, but also stream too. And best of all, it's completely free. Over the years, I've tried all sorts of different recording software from free to paid options, but for me, nothing has come close to OBS Studio. Currently, I record all my gaming videos at 1440p 60fps, and I'll go through my exact settings in a little bit, although you can find a link in the description to a couple of screenshots if you want to have a browse there. After I've recorded my videos with OBS Studio, I then transfer the recordings across my network from my War Machine PC to my Ghost PC and put them into Adobe Premiere Pro, which I use to do some light editing, and then set Premiere to render the video out via the Ghost PC system. Premiere Pro, I found, is the most optimized editing program for my PCs, but I have also used a program called Sony Vegas in the past too. Both do cost, although I believe free trials are available for both of them if you want to test them out. Seeing as I also use Photoshop for video thumbnails and channel art assets, I currently pay a monthly subscription for the Adobe products that I use. It just works fairly well. If you are looking for some free editing programs though, I've heard some good things about Blender as a video editing and rendering program, and GIMP is a decent free Photoshop alternative. Right, enough about the hardware and the software. Let's go through my full day-to-day process of creating a video. Step 1. Check through my schedule and see which video I'm recording on that specific day. Step 2. Read the comments of the previous episode of the Let's Play series that I'm about to record. This 1 helps me catch any advice or feedback that you guys have left me in the comment section, and 2, it reminds me what happened in the last episode and also what I'm planning to do next. With so many series, I often find it hard to keep track of them all. Step 3. Load up OBS Studio, check my settings, and open my recordings output folder to make sure that the recording generates a file properly. Here's my OBS settings for you guys to take a look at. They're also linked down in the description. Step 4. Load up the game for the Let's Play that I'm about to record, do a quick audio test, and then load the save game and press F9 to begin the recording. After around 30 to 40 minutes, press F9 again to end the recording. Step 5. Transfer the video recording file across the network to the recordings folder on my Ghost PC. Step 6. Load up the corresponding Adobe Premiere Pro project file for the video that I'm editing and import the recording. For my regular Let's Plays, there's normally not that much editing that needs to be done, so typically I just line up the recording with the intro clip for the series, add a fade in and out at the start and end of the recording, and then begin the render using my custom preset. If you want to try out the preset for yourself in Adobe Premiere Pro, again, there's a link to it down in the description. Feel free to check it out. You can easily tweak it for outputting at 1080p if you don't want to upload in 1440. Step 7. While the video is rendering on the Ghost PC, start recording another video on the War Machine system.
Hello and welcome everyone, Arhart here with part 44 of my Golden Order Let's Play with Balthazar Gelt, Total War Warhammer 2. So picking things up where we left them, last time we got Karl Franz versus Sloppy Crookshank. Let's dive on in and crush some rats.
Step 8. Once the video has finished rendering on the Ghost PC, drag and drop it into the upload box on YouTube, adding title, description, tags, and copying most of this from the previous Let's Play episode. Step 9. Once the video is uploaded and processed, release the video. Step 10. Profit / do it all over again for the next video in the series. So that's my content creation process and all the hardware and software that I use along the way. So what do you guys think about it? Feel free to ask me any related questions down in the comment section. I've really enjoyed sharing my process with you all, and I hope that perhaps it's helped some aspiring creators out there, or even some existing ones. I also appreciate that to a degree this only scratches the surface of the whole content creation experience, so if you'd like more videos on various content creation topics and a sort of a deeper dive into it all, then feel free to let me know about that as well. Again, a huge thanks to Aorus for sponsoring this video, in fact making this whole process that I now currently use possible. I've also made a build highlights and benchmarking video of the Ghost PC that Aorus were kind enough to send most of the parts over for. That'll be out tomorrow if you want to check that out, see how it performs in a couple of Total War game benchmarks. Until the next one though, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, take pride and join the Legion. Check out my affiliates and sponsors, Games Planet and Overclocks UK. Till the next one, ciao for now.